Good morning, good afternoon, or good evening, whatever time it is, wherever in this world it is that you are. Welcome once more to another live stream of Alexandra Mayers live, page by page, reading and commentary of the modern English version of the Bible. So today we're going to go back into the second book of Samuel, chapter 10, which covers the Ammonites and the Arameans being defeated. On a personal note, wow, did I wake up super early today, but I had something very important that I needed to do, got it done, and I have a little bit of what I can only deem as a sort of clerical work, surprisingly, to do over the next couple of days when it comes to categorizing and sorting a few things that need to be publicly accessible properly, so I'm going to get that done. Otherwise, I'm feeling good. Um, those of you out there who are my fellow Christians, you can never force anyone to have faith. You can never force anyone to authentically and genuinely believe. But I feel what our job as Christians to do is to just mention Christianity to those who we may cross paths with who either are not familiar with Christianity or who maybe for whatever reason were disappointed at some point in their life earlier by Christianity. We've got to get our numbers up a little bit more. So that's my message for today. But let's go ahead and go through this chapter 10. Ammonites and Arameans. I guess I could pronounce it Arameans, but I think it's pronounced Arameans being defeated. After this, the king of the Ammonites died, and Hanun, his son, reigned in his stead. David said, I will show kindness to Hanun, the son of Nahash, as his father showed kindness to me. So David sent a message by way of his servants to comfort him concerning his father. And the servants of David went to the land of the Ammonites. I'm going to go ahead and screen cap something, and I'm really glad that this particular criminal came in here. About time. Right there. Yeah, you know who that one is. But the Ammonite officials said to Hanun, their lord, Has David honored your father in your eyes by sending comforters to you? Was it not in an effort to search out the city, to scout it in order to overthrow it? And he sent his servants to you. So Hanun seized the servants of David, shaved half of the beard of each, cut their robes in half so they were exposed, and sent them away. When they reported what had happened to David, he sent messengers to meet them, because the men were severely ashamed. The king instructed them, Remain at Jericho until your beards have regrown, then return. When the Ammonites saw that they had become odious to David, the Ammonites sent and hired the Arameans of Beth Rahab and the Arameans of Zobah, 20,000 foot soldiers, and from the king of Makkah, 1,000 men, and from Tob, 12,000 men. Okay, so that's interesting about the Arameans. They were basically soldiers for hire, hitmen. That's what we're learning today. And I'll tell you what's interesting about this. Um, to this day, you do have the practice of people becoming essentially hitmen. And what's scary is that hitmen are often far less expensive than legal representation or attorneys. And often people who are at the top of the food chain do tend to seek out hitmen to resolve their issues, even to this day, opposed to legal representation. So be careful with who you mess with in this life. Trust me when I say that. When David heard of it, he sent Joab and all the army with the warriors. The Ammonites came out and drew up in battle formation at the entrance of the gate. But the Arameans of Zobah, Rehob, Tob, and Maacah were by themselves in the open field. When Joab saw that the battle fronts were both before and behind him, he selected some from the best men in Israel and lined them up opposite Aram. The remainder of the people he placed under the charge of Abishai, his brother, and lined them up opposite the Ammonites. Then he said, "If Aram starts to prevail over me, you shall help me. But if the Ammonites begin to prevail over you, then I will come to help you. Be strong and let us fight with resolve for the sake of our people and the cities of our God. May the Lord do what seems good to him." And that what um was just said right here is very important, because often on earth, when humans go to battle, there generally is one side of whatever battle it is that is favored by God. Whenever you hear someone who is overtly aggressive, someone who is willing to issue some of the most incredulous threats of violence, if not death, but then prior to them taking such actions, they proceed on a tirade of claiming that a higher power, namely the Christian God, doesn't exist. Whenever you hear somebody do that, 100% of the time, that person loses their battle and or their fight against their adversaries. Why people on earth engage in such behavior of what I just outlined, I don't know. Because it's been proven time and time again that God is indeed real. I don't know if it's demonic forces coming to such individuals, coercing them to do that, perhaps falsely promising that they'll win in whatever sort of confrontation it is that they're engaged in, but it never works. Whether it's a one-on-one fight or whether it's a fight that involves hundreds of thousands of people, you need to be on the side of Team God. If you are not, you will lose every time. Joab advanced the people that were with him to fight against Aram, and they retreated from before him. When the Ammonites realized that Aram had fled, they retreated from before Abishai and entered the city. Then Joab turned away from fighting against the Ammonites, and he came to Jerusalem. When Aram saw that, they assembled together. Hadadezer sent for and summoned the Arameans who were beyond the Euphrates River, and they came to Halam. Shobach, the commander of the army of Hadadezer, led them. When David was informed of this, he assembled all of Israel. They crossed over the Jordan and came to Halam. Aram was drawn up in formation opposite of David, and they fought against him. Aram retreated before Israel. David killed 700 charioteers, 40,000 horsemen from Aram, and wounded Shobach, the commander of the army, so that he died there. When all the kings who were subject to Hadazer realized they were being defeated by Israel, they made peace with Israel and became subject to them. From then on, Aram was fearful of further helping the Ammonites. Interesting. Interesting. So tomorrow we'll go into chapter 11, which covers David and Bathsheba. Anything else? And that's all it covers tomorrow. So I'll talk to whoever's out there tomorrow morning. If you're listening to me for the right reasons, thank you for listening. If you're listening for the wrong reasons, give Christianity a chance. I think you'll feel a lot better. Take care. Have a great day.